Haley,
Yeah.
what time is it?
It's pizza time!
Big shout out to fourth period right there. I'm sorry to everyone else who just had to experience that. Got a few announcements for you guys for the rest of the week. Tomorrow we have a quiz. Geometry, you guys are taking your quiz on section 11.1 through 11.3. Algebra 2, you guys have your quiz on section 4-1 only. So just like before, first group will be going at 10 a.m. for the quiz. Second group will be going at noon. I'll send you guys an email if you're in the second group. If for whatever reason you can't take it at 10 a.m., let me know. And I'll put you in the second group, but please try to take it at 10 a.m. if you can. I'll be giving you guys 40 minutes to do it. Hopefully that's enough. And also when you submit your photo, make sure that it's a vertical photo, not a horizontal photo. The horizontal is really, really hard to grade. Also, we got some good news for you. You're gonna be super excited about this. You don't have any homework over spring break. None. But with that being said, you guys do have a homework assignment that's due at midnight on Friday. So Friday's lecture, the homework for that lecture will be due at midnight on Friday. Sorry, but that's just what's gotta happen. So to make it a little bit easier, what I'm gonna do is make the video lecture available on Thursday. So if you guys wanna get ahead, feel free to watch it Thursday and submit the homework by midnight on Friday night. And then you have the whole week of no math. No seeing me at all. All right, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoy the lecture. See ya. Okay, so today we're just looking at a review of 11.2 and 11.3. Remember, 11.1 will be on the quiz tomorrow, but we're just going to review these two sections for today. Just going to be looking at some questions from the homework. I'm going to change them a little bit, solve for different things, but we're just going to be reviewing these two sections. So this is a good review for the quiz tomorrow. Our first example is number 14 from the book. But we're going to be looking to find the volume of this pentagonal right prism. So to start with, I need to find the area of the base first. What's the area of my base? Well, what's the base first? Remember, the base is this pentagon here. So how do I find the area of this regular pentagon? Well, if remember, the formula for the area is going to be 1/2 A in S, since it's a regular pentagon, 1/2 A in S, where A is the apothem, N is the number of sides, S is the side length. So if I take my base here, central angle is 72 degrees, so I'm going to create my right. This is terrible. So I'm going to create my right triangle here. This is going to be 36 degrees because I take 72 divided by 2. I want the apothem, which is that part right here. I don't know what that is. And the side length is 5 because the entire side length is 10, so I divide by 2 because the apothem bisects that side. So to solve for the apothem, I'll be taking TOA. I'm using TOA, opposite over adjacent, so the tangent of 36 degrees is equal to opposite 5 over adjacent, which is the apothem. This will give me, I'm going to flip both of these guys, multiply by A, then divide by tangent 36, so 5 over the tangent of 36, and this will give me approximately 6.88. Yeah, 6.88. So that's what my apothem is. So to solve for the area of the base, I say that B is equal to 1/2. The apothem is 6.88. The number of sides, we have 5 because it's a pentagon. Well, what's the side length? Side length is 10. Don't use 5, make sure it's 10 because that's the entire side length. And that gives me area of the base, which is about 172 meters squared because area. That's the area of the base. So to find the volume, I just multiply it by the height, and this is just a prism laid on its side. So the height is that 15. So the volume and say V, the volume is going to be equal to the area of the base times the height, which is 172, times 15, which gives me a volume of 2580 meters cubed. So that is your volume for this prism here. Alright, let's go on to my next one. Let's find the volume, the surface area, and the lateral area of this triangular prism here. Again, it's just on its side. So here's my base. Triangle is the base. The height is 12. But let's start with the lateral area. So if I want to solve for the lateral area, it's the area going around the shape. So in this case, it's going around the side like that. Well, to do that, I'm going to say that let's start with lateral area. That'll be the first thing I do. So lateral area is equal to the perimeter of the base times the height. What's my perimeter of the base? Well, the perimeter of the base, I have 9 for this side, but I don't know what these two sides are. So to do that, I'm going to set up my right triangle, just like before on our last problem, and similar to what we did there. So if the entire side length is 9, if I divide that by 2, it's going to give me 4.5. The height here is 15. My hypotenuse is the unknown, so I use the Pythagorean theorem. To solve for the hypotenuse. And 15 squared is 225. 4.5 squared, that is 20.25. So I'm going to say that the hypotenuse squared is equal to 245.25. I square root that, and the hypotenuse is going to be 15.66 yards. So 15.66 yards. Now, I'm going to add all those up to get the perimeter. So I'm going to add 15.66, 15.66 plus 9. So my lateral area is going to be equal to, so 15.66 plus 15.66 plus 9 gives me 40.32. I'm going to multiply that by the height, which is 12. I get a lateral area of 483.84 yards squared. So that's how you solve for the lateral area, again the area going around the shape. Now it's going to calculate the surface area. So to calculate the surface area, I'm going to take the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base, because I take the area going around it and then add it to both bases. So I take 483.84 plus 2 times the area of the base. What the area of the base is a triangle, so I went to 1/2 base times height. I get 1/2, the base is 9, the height is 15. So I get 67.5 yards squared. So 67.5 yards squared, multiply that by 2. That gives me 135 plus my original lateral area. And so I get a total surface area of, when I add these together, 483.84 of of 618.84 yards squared. And that is my surface area. So lateral area, surface area, so these area on all these surfaces. And now, lastly, let's go ahead and calculate the volume. Oops. So to calculate the volume, again the 67.5. So the area of the base was 67.5 yards squared. So all we're going to do is take the area of the base, multiply by the height, so get 67.5 times 12, which is the height. So my volume is 810 yards cubed. And there's my volume. Now let's go and find the volume, surface area, and lateral area of my cylinder here. Let's start with the lateral area. So to calculate the lateral area of a cylinder, we're going to say the lateral area is equal to the circumference times the height. We're to calculate the circumference of the circle here, 2 pi r. So I get 2, I get 2 times pi, the radius is 14. And make sure you have the radius. If you have the diameter, just divide it in half. And then that will give me 28 pi for the circumference. So my lateral area, that's the first thing we'll start with, is equal to 28 pi times the height, which is 9. That gives me a lateral area of 252 pi, don't forget pi, centimeters squared. So now let's go ahead and calculate the surface area. The surface area is equal to the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. So what's the area of the base? Well, we have a circle, so pi times the radius squared. So I get pi times 14 squared. So my area of the base, 14 squared is 196. So I get 196 pi centimeters squared. So my lateral area is 252 pi plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 196 pi. Well, 196 times 2 gives me 392 pi plus 252 pi. So my surface area is going to be equal to 644 pi centimeters squared. Now you could multiply by 3.14, but if it says keep pi in your solution, keep pi as part of it. If it says round to nearest 10th or 100th, multiply by 3.14 and then round. Alright, so now let's go ahead. Let me double check really quick. Let's go ahead and calculate the volume now. And to calculate the volume, we're going to say that the volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. So the area of the base is 196 pi. The height is 9. So 196 times 9 is equal to 1764 pi centimeters cubed. And that's your volume. Alright, here we got a cone. Let's go and calculate the volume, the surface area, and the lateral surface area. Now you might see it on a test or quiz or hear other people say it's the lateral surface area. It's the same thing as the lateral area, interchangeable terms. Let's go and calculate the lateral surface area or the lateral area first. So my lateral area for a cone, the formula is going to be equal to 1/2 times the circumference times the slant height. So remember, the slant height is this guy right here. So to calculate the slant height, I'll take my right triangle from here, here, and here. So I have 3, 5. Let's solve for the hypotenuse. Using the Pythagorean theorems, 3 squared plus 5 squared is equal to x squared. So I get 9 plus 25 is equal to x squared. And so x squared is equal to 34. So x, when you take the square root of both sides, is 5.83. So that's my lateral, that's my slant height. There you go. So to calculate the lateral area, again the area going around the shape here, I'm going to take 1/2 times the circumference. Well, what's my circumference? My circumference is 2 times pi times the radius. My radius is 5, so I get 2 pi 5, so I get 10 pi centimeters. So I get 10 pi times 5.83. Well, my circumference is 10 pi, so I plug that in, and my total lateral area is going to be equal to 10 times 1/2, which is 5 pi. 5 pi times 5.83, that gives me 29.15 pi centimeters squared. Now let's go ahead and calculate the surface area. So to calculate the surface area is going to be equal to the lateral area plus the area of the base, because I only have one base here. So to calculate the area of the base, it's a circle, so pi times the radius squared, pi times 5 squared, that's 25 pi. So the surface area is going to be equal to 29.15 pi plus 25 pi, which then that will give me 25 plus 29.15. That's equal to 54.15 pi centimeters squared. And I'm just going to go ahead and round to nearest, let's do nearest tenth. Now let's do nearest hundredth. Nearest hundredth, so I'm going to take that, I'm going to multiply by 3.14. That gives me 170.03 centimeters squared. So that's if I multiply by pi, and that's approximate. Now let's go ahead and calculate the volume of this cone. So my formula for the volume of the cone. So let's go ahead and calculate the volume of this cone now. The volume is equal to 1/3 area of the base times the height. So I get 1/3. The area of the base is 25 pi. The height is 3. So my volume is equal to, my 3's just cancel out. I'm left with 25 pi centimeters cubed. So there is my volume. Alright, last question. Let's find the volume, surface area, and lateral surface area of this square pyramid. So to do that, we're going to start with the lateral surface area. Well, the formula for the lateral surface area of a pyramid is equal to 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height. Now my slant height here is this side right there. So I'm going to create a right triangle like before. Now my base is half, or the bottom here, that's going to be half the side length. So I get 4.5. Height is 15. X is the hypotenuse, so I get 15 squared plus 4.5 squared equals hypotenuse squared. That gives me 225 plus 20.25 equals x squared, which will give me 15.66 as the slant height. So my lateral area is equal to 1/2 times the perimeter. Now the perimeter, I'm just going to add up all these sides. So 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, or 4 times 9, so I get 36 times 15.66. So 15.66 times 36 divided by 2, get my lateral area of 281.88 feet squared. That's my lateral area, the area going around the shape. Now the surface area, I was going to take my lateral area and then add the area of the base to it. Well, the area of the base is just 9 squared because it's a square, so 9 times 9 is 81. So I get 281.88 plus 81. So my surface area is equal to 362.88 feet squared. Here's my surface area, the total area on the surface. Now let's go ahead and calculate the volume. So my volume is going to be equal to 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So get 1/3 area of the base is 81. The height is 15. So I get 81 times 5, which gives me 405 feet cubed for my volume. And there is the volume of this right pyramid here. So the keys here is that you have to know the formulas. And this might be the most important part. If you know the formulas, you're good. So lateral area, surface area, and volume. So for any regular prism, say prism, our lateral area is going to be equal to the perimeter of the base times the height. Surface area is going to be equal to the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. Volume is going to be equal to the area of the base times the height. For a cylinder, lateral area is equal to the circumference times the height. The surface area is going to be equal to the lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. The volume is going to be equal to the area of the base times the height. For a pyramid, the lateral area is going to be equal to 1/2 perimeter of the base times the slant height. Surface area is going to be equal to the lateral area plus the area of the base, and the volume is equal to 1/3 area of the base times the height. The cone, lateral area is going to be equal to 1/2 the circumference times the slant height. Surface area is going to be equal to the lateral area plus the area of the base. The volume is equal to 1/3 area of the base times the height. So notice that these are basically the same, and these are basically the same. Now the quiz tomorrow is going to be almost exactly like this. And this is basically the same type of questions that you'll have on the quiz tomorrow. You have to find the lateral area, surface area, and the volume. So this chart right here, that's basically, if you memorize that and know what all those terms are, then you're going to be good for the quiz tomorrow. Alright, if you guys have any questions, shoot me an email, and have a great day. See ya.